In the last video, I showed you the first part of our trip that we took in May. I showed you the first couple of days that we spent in London and part of the cruise that we took to Norwegian fjords. When we went for a cruise, we visited 3 ports. The first port was the city of Stavanger, and there we went to see an Iron Age farm and some botanical gardens, which were really beautiful. The second place that we got off the ship was a beautiful village of Olden, and the nature there, it was surreal. The village was really, really pretty, and I was speechless when I stood there and just looking at the fjords and the whole beauty of everything. We did go out into another port, which was the town of Alesund. And there we didn't really go and visit anything in particular. But we did walk around the city, admiring the Art Nouveau architecture. And it was a nice day. It was just what we needed. We just walked through the city throughout the day, had a coffee. I got some yarn. I found a yarn shop and I bought some yarn, and it was just the perfect day. I didn't know what to expect from a cruise before we went. It was my first time, and I really didn't know what I had in my mind, what I would like to experience, and it really fulfilled all my expectations. My main concern was that I was going to get seasick, because I do get seasick very easily. But that didn't seem to be the problem. The ship is very big, and the water is not rough when you are going to see the fjords. There was one day that when we were in the open sea, when the winds were high, and I did get a bit nauseous that day, but it was not too bad. I just went to the cabin a bit earlier, lie down on the bed, and I was fine the next day. Also, what surprised me is that I knew that the ship is going to be luxurious, but even though it was luxurious, what surprised me is also the relaxed feeling of everything. I mean, for example, you could get dressed in a ball gown and not feel out of place, whereas at the same time you could be like I was in your jeans and Converse and still not feel out of place. Anything goes, which was really, really nice. And we took far too much clothes with us, because the whole trip that we took, it was 3 weeks. The cruise was only 1 week, but the trip was 3 weeks. And we took far too much clothes. I didn't know that on the ship, on every floor, they had a laundromat that you could use by yourself and wash your clothes. So for the next time, I'm going to know, and there is really no need to take more than just some clothes for a couple of days, and that you could just do your own laundry. The food was excellent. There was a bunch of restaurants. The main restaurant had buffets 3 times a day, changing themes every day. But there was also a lot of other restaurants throughout the ship that had a la carte menus, but they were all included in the price what we had prepaid for the cruise. And the food was really, really first class. It was very nice. The entertainment was available throughout the day. There was always mostly cheesy entertainment, but really exactly what I needed in that moment. And the ship had a cinema with 3 or 4 screens that showed a couple of movies every day. Lots of bars. We went to listen to some jazz band, and I did one lesson in line dancing, which is harder than I thought. And we also did karaoke.
Wouldn't you like to know what's going on in my mind? So let me get right to the point. I don't pop my cork for every man I see. Broke the
small boat there in the distance, but like small one, private.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd like to see. As far as the fjords, which was the main attraction that we went for a cruise for, the best word that I can use to describe them is majestic. I don't think I will ever forget that experience. When I woke up and just went on the terrace of the cabin and saw them in front of me, but it was like there was nothing in between me and the fjords, because when you're on the balcony you don't really see the rest of the ship. So it's just you, some sea and the fjords, and it was surreal. I couldn't catch my breath. I couldn't find the words. I even cannot find them now. And welcome back, London. Coming back to a big city was somewhat of a shock to the system. However, the very next day we have found some quiet and out of all places at a cemetery. We spent the day with my niece and her boyfriend, and they took us to see Highgate Cemetery. So they're leaving pens for him.
Yeah, it's nice.
One evening, we stumbled upon a little takeaway place that had only a few tables for eating in. Unassuming but very busy, it quickly became a regular dinner spot for the duration of our stay in London. The reason why we stayed in the UK for another 10 days after the cruise is because we had a wedding of Mario's niece to attend. So during that time, we decided to visit friends of ours who have recently moved to a lovely and very charming city of Durham.
Outgrow the fun things we have done, but tell me, do you wanna carry on? Plants don't grow without water, and they cave when it's cold.
Look at that. So this is what was used for Harry Potter.
Till we're older, put your head on my shoulder, and let's enjoy the ride.
Durham Cathedral was used as many parts of Hogwarts in some of the Harry Potter movies.
We were like yin and yang combined. Now the tables have turned. Can we live and unlearn? You tell me. Let's enjoy the ride. Let's just live a life.
What do you want to eat?
I have no idea. I have to go through everything here first. Wow. Noodles. Okay, that looks promising.
The best duck sandwich in London.
You want a duck sandwich?
Maybe the steak sandwich was good at Hampton. One wrap. Oh, yeah. And all of a sudden, I don't know how to eat when you're recording me. It's like, how do you chew?
Don't ask me. I never chew. I shovel.
Really good. The wedding reception was held at a beautiful location just outside of London. And since both the bride and the groom are of Greek Cypriot origin, Cypriot traditions were woven in throughout the day. As beautiful as the whole trip was, it felt so good to be going back home.